live. I know I didn't tell anybody I was coming on, so I was just gonna kind of wait and see who shows up. Grab my crystals here. If you hear some clacking around, that's just so I'm just going to take a few minutes while I'm waiting for some people to show up. And I guess we can talk about the energies and what's going on with that. And then I'll just, say hi if you're here. And what's up, Hermetic Soul? Thank you for being here. I have been trying to go live for 2 days now, and every time I try to go live, something comes up, like right when I'm trying to go live. So I haven't been able to go live. Don't forget to like the video, everyone, when you come in the room. And say hi if you're here so I can say hi back. Let's see. Make sure I can see the whole chat. Morgan! Hi! How are you? Thank you. Thank you so much. Working on bringing more of my girly side out. She was hiding for a little while, so I thought maybe I could bring her out to play every now and then. And it's Lionsgate, so I figured I would wear a dress that was kind of feline-ish. How's everybody doing with the energies? We have had a little bit going on with the sun. It was pretty quiet for a couple days. We did have like some small flaring, but I think it was in the B class range, so it was pretty minimal. And then we had today, right as Mercury was coming in for its conjunction with the sun, solar conjunction, I noticed that there was this little sun diving comet that came in and impacted, and then right after that comet hit, it looked like there was a small CME. You could see the eruption filament and how it kind of sent this little tsunami wave up the sun. Luckily, not Earth facing, and it wasn't a very big CME. It was pretty slow moving. I mean, it was a decent size. My daughter is still awake, so don't mind the background noise. She's got her headphones on, so hopefully she won't be too much like she was last time. Let's see. I keep missing the chat. My most recent meditation was so amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Oh my God, the energies the last few days have turned you upside down. Me too. So crazy dreams. My dreams have been insane. I've been having a lot of, I almost want to say they're like nightmares, but they're not, because I'm not like afraid. They're just kind of like, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what was that about? Like last night, like my dream was like I was totally like being held hostage and like tortured for 2 days, except for like when I woke up, it wasn't like I was experiencing that specific aspect of the dream. I just remember that being part of the dream, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just like really interesting dreams. Who else is having weird dreams? Like I woke up this morning feeling completely drugged. Like even when I had to go to the store, I was questioning if I was even like okay to drive. I was like, I feel like I've been drinking or something. Like I didn't feel normal, not even close. It was a bit of a struggle. So I'm just laying out my crystals here. That's why I keep looking around. Starfish! Hi, Hermetic Soul. Long time no see. Green room. Very weird dreams, especially last night. So I was not the only one. Love my new pic. Oh, Starfish, yes. Yes, on Instagram. I know, Starfish, you're so pretty. Anybody else have weird dreams last night? Like crazy? I mean, not necessarily nightmare. Like I hate saying it's a nightmare because I wasn't like afraid in the dream. Like the whole time, I was just like kind of like, what the heck is going on? It was emotional roller coaster for you today. Oh my gosh, it's been insane. Did you get your package, Starfish? It should have come. Oh no, maybe it's coming tomorrow. If you haven't gotten it yet, it should be there by tomorrow. You had weird dreams too? Yeah, it's been really interesting. I definitely feel like Lionsgate Portal has a lot to do with what's going on with the energy. We have had not a whole lot of activity coming in from the sun, but the Schumann resonance has been showing that there's activity coming in. Especially yesterday, we had a couple real big spikes. They were really short, but they were like blasts. And I know that a lot of people are getting very triggered. Tila, hi! Yes, you went and got the mail tonight. Thank you. Love the necklace, and the spray smells so good. Awesome. I'm so happy. You kept waking up all night, Morgan? Yeah. I had a hard time going to sleep, and then, yeah, once I went to sleep, it was like the dreams were so vivid. When I woke up this morning, I was exhausted. So I woke up and I did my session, and then I went right back to bed. And I slept till like 1:30 in the afternoon. And my daughter too, like she woke up and went right back to bed with me. Marco, peace and love from Maryland. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Couldn't fall asleep till after 2. My crown is beautiful. Thank you. I made it myself. So I make these lovely little crowns. This one has quite a bit of stuff wrapped in it. This is moldavite here, and then it has black tourmaline, like the small black beads are black tourmaline. It's got malachite and some lodolite quartz in the back here, as well as some elite noble shungite on the inside. Brandon, you made it! What's up, what's up? I'm so glad to have you here. Ninja Alien, welcome. I'm glad so many people are here. Honestly, I didn't even know if anybody was going to show up tonight. I was just like, I've been trying to go live for 2 nights. This is my 3rd night, and I almost didn't again. And finally got myself on camera. Green and black theme. Yes, I agree. Love moldavite. Me too. So I have this moldavite on my crown here, and then I have another small piece of moldavite. And then I had a larger piece of moldavite that I gave away to Brett if he's here, to kind of help him on his journey. So if you're here, say hi, Brett. Oh, I lost the chat again. Sing for us. Oh, lay down, baby. Lay down. You want a crystal? Here. No, you gotta stay off camera. You gotta stay right here. Hold on, guys, just 1 second. I'm sorry. She's tired. I've missed you too, Tila. She's about to fall asleep, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna lay her down. Okay, I can't have you on camera. Here. You want me to fix your party? Here. It's alright. Love you. Oh, you got lipstick on your face. Okay? Now we go to sleep, right? Okay? Sorry about that, everyone. So, peace, chat. Hope everyone is well and your families as well. You too, Margot. Thank you for coming in, and I hope to see you again soon. Western Raven, hey, how's it going? Brandon, I don't know if I'm going to be singing tonight. I don't know. Maybe if we do a meditation, if you guys want to do a meditation tonight. Sometimes that does come through really randomly. I have to like prepare if I'm going to sing. I haven't done any of my vocal exercises. I'm so weird like that, but yeah, I feel like my voice is out of tune if I don't do them. Packed and beginning anew, driving southwest for the first time as we speak. Congratulations, and thank you for being here, Western Raven. excited for your new beginnings. So new beginnings is a theme for a lot of people right now. I'm definitely going through one myself, and I know a lot of people that I've talked to recently are going through moves, going through transitions, going through different life experiences where they're having to leave a lot of significant situations behind that they've known for such a long time and built all this comfort around, and are now having to kind of walk into unknown territory, which is very scary for a lot of people going into that unknown territory. Wow, my Moldavite is really starting to pulse right now. It must be picking up on all your guys' energy. It's like I can feel the vibrations throughout my whole crown. I'm packing up all my stuff and I don't even have plans to move. You're just getting ready. That's fine. That's good. That is how you like prepare yourself for something. Sometimes if you don't know where you're going, but you need to shift out of the reality that you're in, just start preparing as if you were already going there, and then next thing you know, the opportunity is going to just drop in your lap. You're going to be like, oh, well, I was ready for it. Thank you, universe. I literally feel like things are splitting. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm ready. That's great. That's awesome. I love that. Well, I hope we can get together sometime before you leave Carson, if that's something that you're planning on doing, because you're so close. You're like a hop, skip, and a jump from Reno. So Reno is my new location. In case anybody's wondering, I'm no longer in Bend, Oregon. I was actually born here, born in Reno, 35 years ago. I'll be 35 in September. So, and here I am back in the place of my birth, which is so interesting how that works, right? I said that already. I agree 100%. I'm just checking the chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. I miss you too, Tila. So how many people in the chat have Moldavite or have worked with Moldavite? I can't remember if I said hi to you yet, Ninja Alien. Hi. Sometimes I say hi to you guys like in my head, and I'm not sure if I say it out loud. All right, and I think I got everything on the chat, just making sure. Look out for our star family. A lot of people are seeing UFOs. So my location that I'm in, it's really kind of hard to see. But I do have this spot that I like to go out to at night for a few minutes and ground after my daughter goes to sleep. It's just outside. There's a small path, and there's this giant dolomite granite rock. And so I like to sit there, and it's right next to this meadow by a little stream. And so I like to sit on the rock and put my feet in the dirt to ground. And I can always feel the vibration really strong, like as soon as I get into that space. And I usually sit there for a few minutes until I feel like my energy clears. And I like to look out on the meadow. There's always a lot of dragonflies, and dragonflies have been a big synchronicity for me lately. And you can always hear like the fairies kind of wrestling around in the flowers. It's really nice. It's like just covered in like that baby's breath type flower. Like I picked some and brought it back with me. I don't know if that's exactly what it's called. It's a little bit different, but this is it here. If anybody knows the name of this flower. So I have been just admiring it, so I asked permission from the plant and the fairies the other day. I was like, can I take some home with me? And so I just grabbed a couple pieces, and I have it sitting up on my altar, and it's just like bringing the meadow back with me a little bit. But yeah, if you guys know if this is baby's breath or something else, I don't know. It looks a little bit different than baby's breath, so I think it's something a little bit different. But yeah, the whole meadow is just covered in this, and it's probably like a couple acres, the meadow, and it's just really nice. It's really peaceful. I've had a couple people walk up on me like, oh, I was wondering what the heck that was sitting on the rock, and I realized it was a person. The animals, the dogs always like to come up and sniff me too. 2.5 to 3 years now. Who knows? I might stay here forever. It is nice here. You have Moldavite, but you lost it. Oh, it'll show up again. They're in the desert. Yeah, this is the high desert, but it's definitely the desert, that's for sure. Ariel, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to all my Patreons that are here. I think it is baby's breath. Yeah. Yes, the dragonfly has been big for you this month as well. Orbicron! Hey! I'm so glad you're here. Long time no see. Full circle. Dude, I'm in Vegas. LOL. Oh, you're in Nevada too? Who else is in Nevada? Nevada represent. We should definitely get together. I think our kiddos are the same age. How old's your kid? My daughter is the only one I have with me. My two older kids are with my ex-husband in Bend still. Stopping in to see you, Kunasad. Blessings. Lunasad. That's what I thought you said. I was like, wait. I'm watching for us. I'm so glad you're here and you made it to live. I'm so glad that I was able to come on tonight and so many of you guys have shown up. I'm so grateful. If anybody feels like they want to do a meditation tonight, can totally do that, or we can just chat. Let me know if you guys have any questions, how you're feeling, anything you want to talk about. So funny, a dragonfly was on my arm for a long time today and seemed like it didn't want to leave. I love that. What's the focus here? Yoko Yukio. We are just chatting. We're talking about the energies. And if you're feeling anything, you have any questions, Yoko, please feel free to ask. Oh, he just turned 4. Yeah, they are about the same age then. My daughter is 4. California here with her. I used to live in California, so I went from California to Bend, Oregon. Now I'm in Reno, Nevada. But then again, no, it's not about Satan. Although, if that's your jam, you're always welcome here. We welcome all types. Yeah, we're very multidimensional here. We do not judge anybody for your belief systems, your likes, dislikes, any of that. You're all welcome here. We can talk about anything you'd like. Hi, Nova Nova. Oh, I knew that would get you going, Brett. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I love your thoughts on the best thing for preventing big spikes of emotion. I was doing well with that this week. Okay, so he does have a bad rap. I agree, Brandon. I agree. There's a lot of misunderstanding about what that term even means. It's an archetypal energy, and if you understand the energy of archetypes, you'll see it completely different. Just like any god, goddess, deity, whatever you want to refer to them as, they're all connected to different archetypal frequencies, and everything is frequency, everything is vibration. So it all has something to learn. It's just how do you perceive it as where you are in your awareness and your consciousness, and how does it affect you based on your perception. So I'm very open when it comes to that stuff. I deal with all kinds of beings as a quantum hypnotherapist. I deal with everything from high to low, because we go into past lives and we look at where have you dealt with things that have thrown you off track or put you in a state of trauma or put you in a weird vibration that's still affecting you right now. And so when you go into people's past lives or into their subconscious, and you have to deal with all kinds, you deal with ETs, you deal with gods, goddesses, deities, aliens, everything that you can think of, fairies, dragons, elementals. I've seen it, dealt with it all. I have zero fear when it comes to all of those things. A lot of negative, heavy energy on the planet right now, especially with the whole vaccine push. Gotta stay positive. Definitely. I agree 100%. And again, I don't judge anybody for their choices, whether they get it or not. I believe that everybody has the ability to make the choice. And me personally, I choose not to, but that is my choice, and how I feel about things. But I won't ever judge anybody else for anything. That's just, we all have free will in this reality and on this planet. and everything is up to us. We can act like we're forced to do things, but it really does come down to choice. You can say it's because of a job, but you're still choosing to stay at that job based on their regulations. Like, you don't have to stay there. That's one of the things. Like, when I was looking for work outside of my own personal business, a lot of the requirements was that you had to be vaccinated to apply. So I'm like, you know what? It wasn't meant to be, and I'm okay with that. And I'm not going to judge the company or the people for expecting that, but that's just, it's not my jam. And then there's Archangel Michael. I actually work a lot with Archangel Michael, and Brandon, that's totally fine, and I don't judge anybody for that. Like I said, it's up to you. It's your choice, and it's always going to be your choice. So, and I won't ever look down on anybody or look at somebody different for doing it or not doing it. And that's just that's how I feel. I don't want to go into it any deeper than that, to be honest, because I feel like too many people talk about it, and it's not really something that I want to talk about, but that's just where I am with it. So we'll leave it at that. Do what thou wilt. Well said, fairy. Moglos! I'd rather be a castaway than take the V. Oh. Yep, duality. Oh, your battery is getting low. You better charge it, Oricon. They had to make someone the bad guy. Yeah, you have to have... See, we live in a dualistic reality, so you have to have positive and negative. And if you want to look at it in one way or the other, you can look at the negative energies, negative frequencies, negative archetypes as what creates your reason to expand and grow. It's what creates the mission. You wouldn't have a mission if there wasn't anything, to defeat. I don't know if that's the right word, but like when it comes to our temptations or things that could be perceived as negative in our reality, that is your opportunity to grow as a soul. By making a choice to maybe choose the higher road versus choosing the road of temptation, you're giving yourself the opportunity to grow as a soul. But if you should choose the road of temptation and go down that other way, you're still going to learn something, okay? So it's like, there really isn't a right or a wrong. It's all based on perception. And without the negative, there would be nothing. You wouldn't be able to see your light. There would be nothing but light, and everybody would be the same, and there would just be nothing. Like, the whole point of the experience, like, the whole reason that we have a mission is because of the negatives. So it's like, that's just how I feel. You're in St. Louis? You saw dragonflies all day. Nice. But judging is what humans do. Judging is reckoning and calculating. We judge distances, the freshness of cantaloupes, whether to get a third Satan tattoo. Yes, judging is human nature. You're absolutely right. And it's also part of how we learn. It's based on the ego, and the ego is our humanness, Without ego, we would just be this light ball, not experiencing anything. So if you want to think about, like, the thought, the universe, like, what can I become? In order for the universe to see what it can become, it has to implement an architectural structure of negativity in order to overcome that negativity to see what it can become. So without that, there's no way for the universe to see what can I become. There's no way for the soul to see what can I become without first experiencing the negatives, because the negatives are what allow the soul to see what it can become. It's what allows the soul to grow and expand and become bigger and be able to see its own light, because you can't see your light in a room full of light. You can only see it when you're surrounded by the darkness. Why are sailors at sea called lost souls? I don't know. I don't have any tattoos, Yukio. I have 0 tattoos. 0. None. Judgment is ego and creates karma. Caution keeps you safe, not the same. Yes, it's also natural human nature to judge. Taryn, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, I'm so happy. Without negativity, there's no positivity. Exactly. That must be fun to meet all kinds of multidimensional. Yes, it is. It's very exciting. Satan was like, sign me up. I'll be the dark one. LOL. Yeah, for real. Somebody's got to do it. The villain and the hero. Free will, choice, no judgments. Fair enough. Yin and yang. Yes, exactly. They're called lost souls because souls can't escape from cold, briny water. Interesting. I've never heard that before. Yeah. So, we are in actually a really beautiful opportunity here in the third dimension to really see things in a different way, because you're getting to see the stark contrast between light and dark and experience duality in all its forms, both light, both dark, and then also in neutrality. That's why it's such a powerful dimension to be in. Thank you. You know what? I got this dress on ThredUp, so it's like an online thrift store, and it's awesome. I think I got it off from the clearance where you paid like $1 for each of the items or something like that. Like I'm totally like a thrift store shopper. Most of my clothes are hand-me-downs or used. Like I rarely buy anything brand new. I'm glad about your tattoo deficit. Patterns look good on you. Thank you. Yeah, I've always thought about getting tattoos, but I started having kids really young, so it was never within my budget to spend on a tattoo. So, yeah, it just never happened for me. I know a lot of tattoo artists, and a lot of them wanted to do it for me. I just never had the money to do it. So yeah, 0 tattoos. I got lots of freckles. I've got like constellations, straight up. Equanimity. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. What tattoo would you get if you could? So the one that I had designed that I was almost about to get right before I got pregnant with my daughter, I did finally save up enough money because I was working a lot. I was working 2 jobs. I was doing 16-hour days, 4 days a week. So I was doing 4 days, 4 days of doubles a week of bar shifts. So I mean, I was making a lot of money then, and so I had some money saved up. But then I got pregnant, and you can't get tattooed when you're pregnant. But it was basically what I had drawn out was like the treble clef music symbol with a feather. So to represent my Native American heritage along with my my music, my love of music as a musician. And then it had like a little chain that went across the back. So it would be like a little chain that went across the back with the feather, and within that was the treble clef. It was something that I had drawn myself, and so it's kind of hard to describe because it's probably nothing anybody's ever seen before. But yeah, it was going to be on my back right here. But nope, no tattoos. The ink stays in your lymphatic system until you die. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Give a Venezuelan a fish and he will eat for a day. Teach a Venezuelan to fish and he will kill you. That's an interesting joke. Equanimity. Mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in a difficult situation. She accepted both the good and the bad with equanimity. Oh, I said it right that time. It's if I don't try to think about it, I can say the words, but if I try to think about how to say it, I can't say the words. Good night, Nova Nova. It's the same way when I try to speak Spanish. If I just say the words in Spanish, it sounds fine, but if I try to speak Spanish, like if I actually like try to speak Spanish, I sound super white. You can get just as drunk on water as you can on land. That's very true. That's very true. Great share, Green Room. Yes, thank you, Green Room. I really appreciate that. And I love it when you guys do that, like bring new information to the chat. I love that so much. And definitely, like, if you guys have questions about what's going on, definitely, I love questions. And if you guys want to do like any kind of a meditation or anything at some point tonight, let me know, and we can also do that. Hold on 1 second. My little one fell asleep, so I'm gonna grab her headphones off her head and turn them off. It's so quiet. I love it. I also have my window open a little bit, and so where I live is very quiet. It's a gated community, and there's just not a lot of noise here. I'm probably the loudest one right now because I'm talking. No Satan, no tattoos. Wait, no tattoos of Satan. Some people are truly blessed. Interesting. So has anybody been? Oh. Yeah. How many past lives have I had? I've had on this planet 3,700. I think it was. I've had a lot. I've had millions of past lives. I'm a very old soul, but that's just part of why I'm here. I've incarnated on this planet a lot. I started incarnating on this planet a very, very long time ago. Before Atlantis, before Lemuria, I came in. And I just keep coming back because I love this dang rock. What is my Native American ancestry? I am Pueblo, Tiwa Pueblo, and then I also have Blackfoot on my father's side. So I have it on both sides of my family. Planet, are you sure? On this planet, yes. I'm positive. And then outside of this planet, in other dimensions and other universes and other galaxies, there's too many to count. The number is like a more finite number. I will not be coming back to this after this ride. F that, lol. I'm probably sure I've said that, and then I come back every time. So I've incarnated as a man, as a woman, as a child that died very young, as just about every possible. I incarnated in just about every possibility that you could think of, because I needed to have the full spectrum. Do you think when you reincarnate, you keep the same vessel, meaning you look the same, or you change every time? Oh no, I don't look the same. I look different every time. Like some of my incarnations, I don't look anything like myself, and then some of mine, I do see similarities, where it's like I can see aspects of what I look like now in parts of myself before. Like one, I guess the most, I remember when I was remote viewing myself in my Egyptian lifetime, I was very, very tall, and I had really, really high cheekbones. I didn't look like typical Egyptian people, which was interesting, but it was also, not in typical times. So, and then my eyes were very much larger than they are now. So I was probably a little bit more of my hybridized self in that incarnation, and less human looking than I am now. I've definitely, and then I've also, incarnated as, very old, like, I'm sure I was a young man at one point, but when I was remote viewing on that lifetime, I was very, very old man, very wrinkly, very old leathery face, long hair with feathers in my hair. It was a very old Indian man. It was very interesting to see my face in the mirror as a very, very old man. I was like, oh, this is freaking me out. This is when I was first starting to use my third eye, and I was learning how to remote view and scry in the mirror. And I was scrying in the mirror one day, and I was just like, watched my face. So what happens is everything kind of starts to like do this around me, like the energy, and it starts kind of morph and everything. And then my face starts to like kind of morph. And then next thing I know, I have an old Indian man looking back at me, and I was like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And it was just for a second, and then it was back to my face again. But yeah, it was definitely an old Indian man looking back at me in the mirror. I mean, an orbiting body traveling through a 10 tour vacuum at 29 sorry, that's a tongue twister. I mean, an orbiting body traveling through a 10 tour vacuum at 20 times faster than a rifle bullet. I'm not sure. My fave life of yours was the one where I saw all the shells in your hair for sure. Yes, and I love that you were able to tap into that. And that was, I love that. So Morgan has done some quantum hypnosis with me, and she's actually got to perceive me in other forms, and one of them was as a kind of a shamanistic woman with shells in my hair, very much a water shaman. We were fairy friends and sisters from eons ago. Yes, we were, Taryn, and she remembers me as my fairy self, Seraphina, who actually still exists as a parallel being. My incarnation as Seraphina is still also going. She's a piece of me that is still existing now, but also was existing. She's very, very old fairy. But her name is Seraphina, and she is me, and I am her, and we are multi-dimensional beings. Like, we're more than just this human body, and some of our past lives are actually still existing now as parallel versions of ourselves, and Seraphina is one of those parallel versions of me. And she still visits me sometimes. That's your planet, a round, watery world that spins and wobbles through space. Yes. Yes. This planet is very round, very watery, and does spin through space. And some of my other planets that I have incarnated on were straight up water planets, and I was very much an aquatic being in those lives. I wonder if everyone who's been here before are here now for this shift. I definitely agree that there is a lot of people who are incarnated right now that have incarnated on this planet many times, but have also incarnated on other planets and other systems, galaxies, and even other universes. I've met a couple people, worked with a couple clients that are from alternate universes, not this universe, but alternate universes. There's no measurable convexity. Katie, I'm so glad you're here. Hey, little sis, a beautiful surprise. I love you. I love you too. And, speaking of sessions, Katie, you never showed up to your last session, so you still have a session on the book, so you should definitely book that because it's paid for, so you just didn't come. So definitely book one. If you need my booking tool, I'll email it to you. Why do you feel so many in our group have Regulus in their chart? Because Regulus is a significant planet. It is a fixed star. And because we kind of tend to incarnate with people we refer as soul family, so our frequency, our vibration is similar. We resonate at similar things. We have different roles that we play for each other. So you'll find synergy within the charts of people who are within your soul family. Our soul family tends to have a lot of Regulus markings. I have a lot of Regulus. I have Regulus in my moon. And then I also have Regulus in a couple other aspects of my chart. Regulus is significant because it connects through that fixed star, which is a frequency, a portal, and also a seed morphogenetic field that our soul chooses to incarnate through so that we can resonate with other people who have also incarnated through that morphogenetic field in order to find each other again in this reality, because our vibrations pull each other in. So we will incarnate through certain portals, through certain seed fields in order to maintain a certain frequency to draw in and work with people who are continuous throughout our journey and our different incarnations that we have together. How do we go about getting a past life session? Well, you can book one with me. After the chat or after this is over, I'll go ahead and put all my information in. I don't know how to do it prior to going live, but if you check out any of my other videos, it's all in there. It's basically, not everybody goes into a past life. Sometimes we go into a parallel life. Sometimes we just chat with your higher self. I do things a lot different than a typical quantum hypnotherapist. Like, if you go to another person, you're not going to get the same experience that you get with me because I don't do things like anybody else. I've learned a lot of different tools and modalities when it comes to hypnotherapy and hypnotism, and I've developed my own system. So that's why I say, like, I don't do anything like anybody else, because I don't. I do things very differently. I work a lot in alternate versions of reality. So, like, for say, we go back into a past life where there was some sort of a trauma. I actually will, instead of making you relive that trauma, I allow you to perceive the alternate version of what could have happened if, we could change things around a little bit, and say you weren't attacked and you were able to get a forewarning and leave in time and experience what life was like that, because every possible reality does exist. And this is one thing that I've learned through quantum reality and work and kind of surfing through the quantum experiences with my clients, that if you can both perceive, because here's the thing, when somebody goes into a past life regression, and this happens like 100% of the time, they already know what's going to happen. So there's no point in making you relive the experience. So what I do is I let you perceive and view the alternate experience, so that you can have a bigger view, a bigger perspective of why things happened. Like, say you lost somebody in a past life, we can look at the alternate reality had you not lost that person. If it was a child, I let you see that child grow up and have a family and see what that looks like. And that allows the person to see both and perceive the alternate realities of whatever experience they have, while still already knowing the past life reality. Because here's the thing, like, most of the time people will go into it and you'll ask them, well, what is it about this scene that is making you sad? And they're like, well, I lost my kid, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, well, if we could, and they don't even have to see it. They don't have to see them losing their kid. They already know it because it's already in your subconscious. You've already experienced it. So instead of making you relive that experience and then healing you from that by reliving it and then going through that, I actually have, well, what if we look at the reality where you didn't lose your child and you can watch this child grow up and have a family? That is something that I've done with people, and I've actually done it with multiple people with different situations. Not necessarily like they lost a kid. Sometimes it was that they lost their life, and I let them see what it would be like had they not lost their life in that reality, and maybe got to see the other side of it. And here's the thing, like, you're always going to have an exit point, but they're in different timelines, and the exit point's different every time. So there's an equal and opposite potential for everything that happens to you in a past life. So what we can do is we can look at the alternate potential of anything that happened to you, and that allows you to see the bigger picture of whatever experience you had. And I found that a lot of people come out of it like, wow, like, I didn't even know that was possible. That's really cool. And it gives them a bigger perception of reality outside of a linear point of view, because we're not doing linear things with me. We do everything quantum. Do you know Laura Magdalene Eisenhower? That sounds familiar. I don't know why that name sounds familiar, but I don't know her personally. Lots going on, as you know. You're in my heart always. I still want to be hypnotized when you feel ready. Let's work towards that. Yeah, just book a session with me, Katie. It's been a while since I've seen you. I've developed a lot of different techniques since our last session. Regulus! Marty's got Regulus in her chart too. I want to do a hypnosis if my child would chill long enough for it. I'll need a side hypnosis for him to sleep for a little while. If you want to starfish, you can try to plan it, because my sessions aren't like 4 to 5 hour sessions. I do 1 hour sessions, and we get a lot done in 1 hour. We don't go to multiple past lives. We do one, okay, in my sessions. Because here's the thing is, there's no reason, like, if you want to do multiple past lives and you want to do that, I recommend going through my Patreon. I make it really affordable to do that, and then you can do 1 hour at a time. But when you're perceiving things from a quantum perspective, I'm not going to throw a whole bunch of information in your face and throw you into an existential crisis, all right? So we do one past life. We work on one thing that you're dealing with. We don't do more than that. So my sessions are an hour and we do one thing. And then I give you the time to integrate that. And if you feel like you need to go back in and do another life or work on another thing, then we do that in a separate session. But we stick to one thing because I feel like that allows you to really take on the information, the experience, and integrate the awareness of the quantum, the parallel realities and aspects of whatever that is that you're going through. And there's a few people in the chat right now that have done sessions with me and that have experienced these quantum realities with me. So if you need proof, there it is. Take 500 milligrams of flesh-free niacin vitamin B3 with each meal, and you'll be dreaming in vivid color in no time. That's actually a really good idea. I'll have to try that. I've been needing to take more B vitamins anyways, because when I take B vitamins, it helps with my energy levels, and it also helps with my shakes. So I get handshakes pretty bad, like when I try to write or anything like that, or I get shakes. And so whenever I do the B vitamins, it really helps with that. I also have a lot of like energy. So it kind of helps like balance me out. B vitamins are awesome. I love B vitamins. Thank you. I will email you. Much love. Perfect. Thank you, Katie. Process time. Yeah, exactly. I think that the integration process is super important, and especially when you do deep healing like that, like going into a past life, there is always a healing integration period that happens after. Like if you're healing something within the throat chakra, you had a past life where you were, disempowered through your voice, you're going to have to go through the integration of that, and that can result in a number of different ways. It depends on the person, and it depends on how deep the wound was held within the body. So if I'm like pulling things out of here, out of there, you're going to come out of the session and you're going to go into a massive healing crisis, and we try to avoid that by keeping things very limited and working on one thing at a time. Sessions are awesome for sure. Yes, thank you, Morgan. Regular niacin will cause a false allergic reaction. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Good tip. So be aware of that, you guys. Niacin's also, I heard, really good for cleaning the blood. It's a great antioxidant. I think people take it to like flush the system. I've also heard of niacin flush, where your face gets red and hot and your skin gets itchy. Sorry about that. That might be that false allergic reaction that she's talking about. Hi, Alexandria. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I forgive you for losing my bowling shoes three lifetimes ago. Thank you, Suzanne. I wouldn't be surprised if that was true either. I've had to sorry, I have to loosen this a little bit. It's tight. It's really tight on the back of my neck. It's starting to hurt. Right there. Sorry. I've definitely had to work through some of my closer friends and soul family through some of our more traumatic lifetimes together, where we've done pretty horrible things to each other, and we've had to learn to see, perceive, and forgive and understand that was part of a role that we were playing in that lifetime in order for certain things to play out the way that they needed to play out. We learned about using light energy frequency as focus to healing and led me to find red light therapy. I was assembling mine today. In fact, yes, I remember that during one of our sessions. Oh, there it is. During one of our sessions I meant. Perfect. Yeah, so thank you for the building of awareness. Morgan was one of my regular sessions for a while there. We were doing them every week, and we learned so much. I have a whole notebook full of notes and things like, and some of the stuff that came through in your sessions, Morgan, was so higher dimensional and so galactic that even I was having a hard time. Like, I don't know what any of this means, but it's awesome. And I record everything. Everything is recorded. You get a copy of the session, everyone, so you know that. And that allows you to look back on anything that came through in your session, because the most, like, people have gone to different planets, different universes, different galaxies, different dimensions. I mean, we've done it all in sessions. It's been amazing. Yeah. Purple hearts. Love the purple hearts. Yeah, I've learned a lot of really cool different techniques as well, for healing, and my clients, one of the things that I do is I have them teach themselves how to heal themselves through their session. So a lot of times, you'll get a chance to either speak with your ancestors or your guides, your higher self, and your higher self will give you instructions on how to implement certain healing rituals, certain techniques. Sometimes you get a symbol, sometimes you get a code, and you're meant to use this symbol or this code in order to either, activate your DNA or upgrade your consciousness or heal yourself in some way. Like, there's all kinds of different things that you can experience in my sessions. They're definitely not limited to just past lives. Past lives are something that comes through, but the focus of my sessions is always healing. That is the number one focus in every session. It's not about finding out who you were in a past life. It's about going into a potential past life or experience. Sometimes we go into ones from this life. I mean, we don't always do past lives. I've done this life regression as well, where you were holding a traumatic experience from this life, and we look at, like, where did it start? Like, why is it there? And how can we transform that experience into something that allows you to grow? So if you see yourself, like stunted, we allow you to do transformation visualization in order to expand you to grow, whether that's turning yourself into something beautiful. If people are coming after you with pitchforks, instead we turn it into flowers and love, and they're hugging you and they're loving you now instead of attacking you. It's a completely different experience than what you had in that reality. Now we're looking at a different potential reality and allowing you to heal through that experience. Andy P, hey there. It's been a while. Hope all is good. Welcome. Thank you for being here. At night, I used to lie in my twin bed and wonder where my brother was. Mitch Hedberg. Interesting. Is that from a book, or oh, there's something on my eyelash. Sorry. I can, like, see it. Sorry, I'm not trying to, like, pick. There was a piece of hair, like, and it was right in my vision. It was annoying. Twin bed twin brother. So he may have lost a brother, but could still sense his presence, his energy, and his twin brother probably still existed in a parallel life, and he was probably tuning into that parallel reality where that brother was still there. I wanted to buy a candle holder, but the store didn't have one, so I got a cake. That's interesting. This Mitch Hedberg, I'm going to have to check him out. I love that. At Susanna, LOL, love Mitch Hedberg. I lost my flip-flop today in the river when the canoe flipped over and it was rocky. Then we stopped on a beach a ways down and I found a flip-flop. Also, it was nicer, so I got an upgrade. I love that. That is so rad. Oh, upgrades are always the best, and especially when they come in really unexpected ways. It's like, thank you, universe. Oh. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about, like, things, feel free to ask, man. That's what I'm here for. I definitely have had some fun experiences in the work that I do. I love it. If anybody's interested in working with me, I do have a Patreon. So in the Patreon, sessions are only like $22 a session right now. That might change in the future, so just be aware of that. I will probably have to raise my prices in the future, but right now, for an hour session with me, it's $22 if you do it through the Patreon. If you book through my Etsy shop, it's going to be $44 for the hour, just to let you know. But you can also book sessions through my Etsy shop. And then they're about an hour to an hour and a half long. Obviously, if you're right in the middle of something, I'm not going to cut you off at right an hour. I gauge your energy as well, and I found the body, because I kind of feel out your energy as you're under. I have found that anything longer than an hour and a half is just too much for the person. They get too tired, their body gets tired, and then they have that intense integration afterwards. So I really try to keep it limited that way. You're only working on one thing, where you're allowing yourself to go through a full integration after whatever you healed. You're not throwing yourself into an existential crisis because of your healing, because you need to be aware that when you do this kind of work, it's intense. Okay, it's not like happy joy, I'm gonna go check out a past life. No, this is like intensive healing work that I do, and like it's not like you go into the session and you come out of it and you're just the same person. No, you're a different person. Like, you pulled something heavy and dense out of your body, and now your energy has to resituate itself, and that means that things are going to change and shift in your reality. Anything that was connected to that old timeline experience that has now been disabled and dismantled is going to start falling away out of your life. So it's like, the kind of work I do is intense, it's powerful, and if you're ready to like start really seeing things change in your reality, definitely book a session with me. But no, not to take it lightly, because this is not just stuff you do for fun. This is intensive healing work. Also, maybe what core issue kept repeating and repeating when we tried to bring our true self out, and in this life now we won't allow the true self out because of those trauma. Exactly, yes. Hypnosis terrifies you. That's okay. There's a lot of weird stuff out there when it comes to hypnosis. There's a lot of misunderstanding, and movies and TV have really created a lot of weird things around hypnosis. I don't do stage hypnosis. I'm not going to make you quack like a chicken. I'm not going to make you do certain things. No. So, I mean, what I do is I walk you through a progressive relaxation. It's like 10 to 15 minutes of telling you to breathe, like becoming aware of different aspects of your body to bring the attention span inwards instead of out around the room, because humans have really short attention spans. So what we do is we bring your awareness into the body. We allow you to feel different aspects of the body, and so that the room is less available for you and you're focusing on you. And then as you're focusing on the body, we allow you to go inwards. And we use a lot of the imagination. We work with the imagination is important. So we do some grounding visualizations where I have you basically visualize yourself, standing on some dirt, a patch of fertile soil. And then as you're releasing emotions from your body, because water is connected to emotions, I tell you to imagine what it would feel like if you could release those emotions from your body, almost like water spilling out of your feet. And then you can imagine the water, filling the dirt beneath you. And then I give you the opportunity, if there's any seeds that you want to plant in that dirt, any manifestations that you want to come into fruition, to imagine what those could be like, and go ahead and take that seed and put it in the soil and allow the water as it releases from your body to nurture that seed. Because everything that we experience is something that we can grow from and expand on and build from. So it's like that, all of that becomes fertilizer as it transmutes and transfigures in the soil. And then I allow you to use the visualization and the awareness of that seed that you planted in that soil, and imagine what it would be like if it could grow into a plant. What kind of a plant would that be? And I let you, choose the type of plant it could be. It could be a flower, it could be a vegetable, it could be a tree. And then allow you to kind of see like different plants that you could put into the ground and grow from your own manifestations. And as you're doing that, you're energetically growing your manifestations into fruition. And then I allow you to kind of root yourself into the dirt. That's a grounding visualization. And as you root yourself into the earth and connect with the core of the planet, and wrap around the core of the planet, and then breathe her energy into your body, allow it to cleanse each one of your chakras as you move up to each chakra. And then I have you visualize, like a flower, what it would look like. Like, if you could imagine any flower, if you could pick any flower, your favorite flower, or one that you could create your very own, and what it would look like if it was floating on the top of your head, what would that flower be? What color would it be? And if you could imagine from the center of that flower, if you could, see a golden orb. This is all using the imagination. Like, anybody who's, read a story or had a story read to them, and you can start like kind of picturing things inside your mind as you're hearing the story. That's the technique that I use. And then you connect with your source energy, you bring that energy down, you merge it with the energy coming from below, the energy coming from above, and that gives you that balance of above and below. And then that allows you to maintain a level of psychic protection so that anything you experience, any beings that you interact with, any energies that you interact with, you're fully protected. And then this allows you to also, begin really using your imagination, which is absolutely the key, the gateway to your subconscious is using your imagination. So as you kind of go through this process of using your imagination, you allow yourself to more deeply immerse within yourself. And the next thing you know, you're in kind of like that theta brainwave state where you're half awake, half asleep. And this is like going through a dream. This is like walking through a lucid dream. And you basically get to see and experience different aspects of your own subconscious. So if you're dealing with something that's keeping you stuck in a certain way, I'll have you be like, tune into your emotions, tune into your feelings, allow yourself to be guided to a doorway that is resonating at the energy in which you need to experience, and then we walk you through a doorway and you're like, if you could imagine what it would look like on the other side, if you could imagine you were outside, if you could imagine if you were in a room, if you could imagine you were in outer space, like whatever it was that you wanted to imagine in that moment, you allow that to be created inside your mind. And that allows you to tap into aspects of yourself that are already contained within your subconscious just by using your imagination. So what I do is I just ask you a series of questions and tell you to use your imagination. That's what hypnosis is, at least the way I do it. And it's a method that I learned called the Ericksonian method. So there was this thing called the Betty White induction where she just said, and this was how I kind of developed this method, was through that, where she would have you kind of look around the room, tell me 3 things you see, and then close your eyes, tell me 3 things you feel. And then you just kind of count back, and that gives you the opportunity to go from the awareness out here to the awareness in here until you're fully immersed into what you're feeling, things you're smelling. And then you're asked to reflect on a memory. Say you could go back to, experience with this person that you had, and you're like, if you could remember what it was like to be in this place at this time and look around the room, what are 3 things that you would see? And that just allows you to kind of tap back into that memory and immerse yourself in that experience. And that's what I do. That's the kind of work that I do. It's not like I tell you to like do anything other than, what's already contained within your subconscious. There's no reason to be afraid of hypnosis, but I totally understand why there is a lot of fear around it, because there's a lot of movies and TV shows that make it out to be what it totally is not. Usually with that you're looking at stage hypnosis, which is for entertainment purposes only. That's not what I do. I mean, I did learn stage hypnosis when I was doing my inductions mastery courses, so I could just see the difference between a rapid induction, an instant induction, and a progressive induction. I use progressive inductions. I don't do rapid or instant inductions. That's just not my method. And that's something you do more as like an in-person thing, and like for stage or entertainment purposes. You can use them to like do other things like for clinical hypnotherapy, but I do progressive induction. That's just my method. And then I use a lot of the Ericksonian methodology as far as basically I just ask you a bunch of questions while you're under. And, I ask you to tell me how you feel. I ask you to tell me, what would you see if you could imagine you were holding a book? What would that book look like? If you could open that book and turn to a page, what page number would you turn to? What would be on that page if you could imagine there would be a symbol or a picture on that page? What would be on there? That's what I do. It was crazy. It was the right foot and the right size. That's awesome. 100%. I definitely want to do that. Perfect. Anybody who is interested, you can check any of my other videos and they have the information already in it, or check after the live is over and I'll put all the information in the program part. Watch Audrey Rose, 1977. Hypnosis didn't work out well for her. Yeah, it was probably a TV thing. I'll have to definitely check it out. But I also don't do like the type of hypnosis that you see in TV and movies. I just don't. It's not even close. I have a hard time with visualization process in hypnosis. I had a fantastic practitioner that helped me a lot in the past, but through my past life hypnosis, I mostly felt only. Any advice there? Yes. That's common. You're not the first person that has had problems with visualization. So, anytime that I'm asking questions, I always give my client an option to tell me what they're feeling versus what they're seeing or what they're sensing. So, it's like, what do you see, sense, or feel? So, that gives you the option to not visualize and to just feel things, because sometimes we can feel things, but we can't see things. But you can still get a lot of information through that feeling as long as you're open to that feeling. And you just have to you have to be willing to kind of know and tap into that part of yourself, and trust those feelings, because those feelings are information, even if you're not seeing anything. Because there's plenty of people out there that can't see when they go into hypnosis, but can still get a whole lot of information just through those feelings. Yep, that's about how it goes, Starfish. Oh, I'll probably be ugly, crying, and sounding like Chewbacca. Yes, crying is really common. It's very, very common. It happens a lot, and it's a way to release the emotions, the trapped emotions within the body. It's also a way to heal. It's a very powerful thing. Crying is definitely encouraged, so never feel embarrassed if you cry during one of my sessions. A lot of my clients cry, and it's because you guys are healing yourselves, okay? I don't heal you guys. You guys heal you guys, okay? I just ask the right questions. But you guys are the ones that do all the work. I mean, this is my house. It's too small for a full-size fridge. Interesting. And don't get me wrong, the feelings were profound and healing. I just would have been helpful to have a picture. Plus, I always question if my brain filled in the picture via the emotion. That is also a very common thing. I'm so glad you said that, Andy. So a lot of people will see things in their imagination, and they're like questioning if they're actually seeing and experiencing these things. Here's the thing. A lot of times I will also see and tap into what you're seeing, and it'll be the same thing that you're seeing. So it's definitely not your imagination. Like, I've had people, like, they'll start like describing a certain fabric or a certain type of room, and I can already see it in my mind, and then they'll be like, and I don't even know if that was real, because I don't know if it was just my imagination. I was like, well, I was seeing it too, so there had to have been something there. Yes, Fairy had to deal with that challenge with me too, by using my feelings instead of visualization. Exactly, Marty. Yes, and that's so important. And Marty, you're not my first person. And actually, working with you helped me work with other people that were more like that as well. So thank you so much for being one of my first clients that helped me kind of develop through that process of working with feeling versus always seeing. Because, like, you're a lot of the reason why I was able to develop that technique. So thank you. Indeed, the feelings are the most powerful in sessions. Yeah, feelings are the most... Everything is feeling, and feelings have so much information if we allow ourselves to believe in those feelings and to tap into what those feelings are, and allow those feelings to guide you from one place to the next. I always tell people that even if your brain is filling in the picture, if the emotions were real, you healed something. That is absolutely correct. Yes. Because our mind will use different things that will cause us to question what we're seeing. Like, our subconscious will develop imagery in order for us to attach it to an emotion that's trying to come forward, that will be like a character in a movie that we saw, or a book that we read. And then so you'll be like, well, I don't believe that was something that really happened, because I was talking to Gandalf, and Gandalf is from a movie. But really, Gandalf was just a representation, a symbolic representation of whatever the message was that was trying to get across to you through that experience. But because you were able to use your awareness, your remembrance of what Gandalf looked like, and it was symbolically close to whatever memory was trying to be brought forward, that is what came forward into your mind. It does not mean that it didn't exist and that it was totally made up. It's just, it's like in a dream. It's the same way dreams work. It's exactly the same way dreams work, Dreams are symbolism. Hypnosis is symbolism. There's a lot of times you'll see, feel, experience things in hypnosis that has to be deconstructed after the session. That's why we talk before the session. That's why we talk after the session. We talk about what you saw, what you felt, and then we talk about the symbolism behind that. Because your subconscious has to take things that your conscious mind is aware of and meld them together in order to bring across an image, a picture, and a realization about a past life, an experience, something that happened to you. It's always going to be based on whatever your conscious mind can grasp and bring. It's like you're bridging between the subconscious and the conscious mind through that experience by taking what you can remember and see and things, whether you saw it in a movie, read it in a book, whatever, from here, and bringing them together in order to portray a message for healing, for awareness, and for understanding about yourself. I knocked on the psychic's door. She asked who's there, so I left. That's another big misconception about psychic abilities, though. Like, just because someone's psychic doesn't mean they know everything. Everybody is psychic. That's the thing. We just all have different abilities. People think that just because someone's psychic, they know everything, they see everything, and they should know everything, and if they don't, then they're not psychic. That's not true. Not even close. Movies and TV have made it really hard for people to understand their own innate abilities because they all think it's supposed to be like in the movies and like in TV. And that just because someone's psychic that they're going to know everything that happens in the future. No. As soon as you observe a future potential, that potential is no longer going to be the same because you observed it. Because just like when in quantum theory, when they observe the particles, if they don't observe the particles, they are the same every single time. But as soon as they observe them, they change. It's the same with the future. The second you observe a potential in the future, that potential is no longer the same. It changes simply through your observation. Love the headpiece. Do you make them? I do. I did make this one, and I've made several. You can see some of the ones I've made on my Instagram page, the Fascinating Fairy. Has some pictures. I have a really bad habit. Can we do the meditation before this chat ends? Yes, definitely. We will do a meditation. Thank you so much. I'm really happy that somebody wanted to do a meditation because I was kind of looking forward to it. Check out my Instagram page, Nicole Murphy, and I don't have any available in my shop right now, but I do custom orders. So each day of my life is like 12 2-hour movies. Oh, that's awesome. I will be booking a session soon. Perfect. I would love to meet you in person, Andy. And you can find my information in any of my other videos for my Etsy store, which is where you can book a session. If you're interested in regular sessions, weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, whatever, then book it through the Patreon because sessions are half price to Patreon. $44 for an hour through my store, $22 for an hour on my Patreon. Okay? So that's my prices right now. Those can change in the future. That's just where they stand right now, just so everybody knows. All right, so I'm going to look at the chat real quick, and then anybody who wants to go ahead and join this meditation, go ahead and grab water, whatever you need to do to get prepared, settled in, crystals, water, find a comfy spot, whatever that is for you. We're going to go ahead and get a meditation started here in the next few minutes. Okay, so go ahead and get yourself prepared for that. Well, thanks to our work, they're not taking my DNA. Yes. I remember what session you're talking about as well. Yes, Marty, strong goddesses, for sure. Yay! So, I am actually going to grab a water myself, so I will be right back. All that talking made me thirsty. All right. So I'm just going to take a minute to get grounded while you guys are getting ready. And if you guys are feeling that heat, it's just because my higher self showed up, and my higher self is very fiery. He always brings the heat in the room. I'm just kind of merging my energy with my higher self and getting grounded. And if you guys would like to start taking some nice deep breaths, really breathing in deeply. Allowing the whole body to relax just a little bit more with each breath. And I want you all to go ahead and just take a few more nice deep breaths. Breathe in deeply through the base of your spine. Bring the energy all the way up to the very top of your head. And just hold it there for just a moment. And when you release that breath, I want you to release any tension, any stress that you're holding onto from your day. I want you all to just go ahead and continue taking nice, deep breaths, really breathing in deeply. And with each breath, I want you to go ahead and just allow your body to relax just a little bit more. Relaxing just a little bit more with each breath, and I want you to go ahead and just allow your awareness to come inwards, focusing on the body, focusing on the way the body feels, perhaps focusing on the breath, the rhythm of your breath as you breathe in and out. As you focus on the breath, breathing in deeply and really allowing your whole body to relax just a little bit more with each breath, I want you to go ahead and begin to find just a little bit of a rhythm within your breath, finding a nice, slow, steady beat. And once you've allowed your breath to become slow and rhythmic, I want you to perhaps notice your body has in fact become just a little bit more relaxed. And as you are relaxing even more, I want you to go ahead and just begin visualizing your body releasing any trapped emotions, any dense energy, any stress or tension that you're holding on to. And as you release all the tension, all that stress, anything you may have picked up from another person, anything you may have picked up from your environment, go ahead and just let it release from your body on that out breath. And I want you to go ahead and as you release that energy and breathe in deeply, breathing more light into your body with each breath, I want you to just go ahead and imagine yourself surrounded with the most beautiful light that you can just continue breathing into your body. And as you breathe in that light, I want you to allow that light to begin vibrating through every cell of your entire being. as you breathe more light into your body, I want you to allow that light to go ahead and just purge, cleanse, and release anything left over, anything dense or heavy that's still swimming around within the body. Allow the mind to clear, allow the thoughts to become calm and quiet. And as you do this, I want you to go ahead and just begin imagining yourself standing on a patch of fertile soil. What would that look like? If you could imagine the dirt beneath you, the ground, imagine your feet standing there and what that would look like to you. And as you imagine what that dirt would look like or even feel like to you, you could imagine if it would be warm and soft or perhaps damp and cool. Now I want you to go ahead and place within that soil any manifestations that you'd like to experience in this reality, in the future. Anything that you want to plant in that soil, any seed. I want you to just imagine you can place that intention within that seed and just place it in the ground now. Cover it with that soil. And you can go ahead and place your intention in any other seeds that you'd like and place them into the ground. And as you imagine what it would look like to take your intention, place it into that seed and plant it into the ground, I want you to just imagine what kind of a plant you could grow from that seed. If you could picture a flower or a tree or perhaps a vegetable, you could even make up one, a plant of your very own creation. I want you to go ahead and just imagine what it would look like. And once you've done that, once you've had the opportunity to develop inside your mind what that would look like to you, I want you to just imagine that seed growing that plant and see it begin to sprout before you. Perhaps you can see it just coming out of the ground. Maybe it has 2 leaves on it to start. But then I want you to see it become bigger. You could even imagine it blossoming or blooming or coming into fruition. You could imagine if it's a tree with all the leaves growing on the branches. If it's a fruit-bearing tree, you could imagine what kind of fruit would you grow on that tree. You could even imagine it could be like a hybrid tree and you could have different types of fruit growing on it. Remember, this is your own imagination, this is your own creation, and it can look any way you'd like. Now I want you to go ahead and just take a moment and imagine this garden that you have growing all around you. What would that look like if you could see it flourishing in abundance, fully grown? You could even imagine what it would look like as it was ready to harvest. Your very own garden of your very own creation. You could add anything within that garden if you wanted to place a fountain or a fence or different types of boxes that you have plants in. You can go ahead and do that. Just allow your mind, allow your imagination to just really run wild with you now. Now I want you to go ahead and just imagine if you could also stand there in that soil and allow your feet to grow roots. What would that feel like if your feet were to grow roots? Just imagine. And as you imagine what it would be like for your feet to grow roots, I want you to go ahead and see those roots begin to move down through every layer of the earth, moving all the way down to the point where they reach the very center of the earth. And as you do this, I want you to go ahead and just imagine your body deeply rooted, deeply grounded into the earth. Feel yourself becoming very grounded now. And as you picture inside your mind, using your imagination, what it would be like for those roots to wrap around the core of the earth, the center of the earth. You could picture it like a crystal ball. And that crystal ball could have a pulsing silver white light coming from the center of that ball. Pulsing from the center of that ball, that white light, and with each breath you can imagine that light coming into your body, breathing up that light from those roots into your body with each breath. And if you want to go slow with it, you can definitely go slow with it. Imagine the light first coming up the roots with one breath. And then exhale, release. And then take another breath and bring that light up even higher, up past your feet, up all the way up your legs, all the way into your root chakra, and allow that silver white light to cleanse and clear your root chakra, allowing that root chakra to expand even more now. I want you to go ahead and just imagine if you could continue bringing that energy up through all your chakra systems, breathing it up through your sacral and then into your solar plexus, moving it up with each breath into your heart, allowing that heart to really open and expand, and then breathing it up into your throat, allowing the throat to open and expand, cleansing and clearing anything dense or heavy, and then breathe it up into your third eye, allowing the third eye cleanse, clear, and open even more. And then just go ahead and take one more nice deep breath. Bring it all the way up to the very top of your head and imagine if you could allow your crown chakra to fill with that light. And as you do this, you could even picture if your crown chakra could be a flower. Any flower, one of your very own creation, or perhaps your favorite flower, but I want you to just imagine a flower there. Whatever flower you'd like to see, imagine it blossoming and blooming. And from the very center of that flower, I want you to just imagine if you could send a golden strand up from the center of that flower, move it up, all the way up through the clouds, up through every layer of the atmosphere, all the way through space, and then beyond space, into the void, and just go ahead and just plug it in, almost as if you were plugging in a power cord into a socket. And then I want you to just imagine, as you do that, what it would feel like to just bring that electric connection down that cord and into your body. Imagine your body becoming completely activated in that light, allowing that light to fill every cell of your being, vibrating in that golden frequency. And now I want you to go ahead and just imagine if you could take that light coming up from above and down from below. Take the two energies, the two lights together, and connect them at your heart. And if you want to picture what it would look like if you could mix the colors together and create this beautiful champagne color of golden and silver white light, and allow that light to surround your entire body, creating a bubble, a shield of protection. And I want you to just continue taking nice deep breaths, really breathing that beautiful light into your body, allowing it to move through every chakra system, known and unknown to you, cleansing and clearing anything heavy or dense, and allowing this very powerful bubble, this shield that is surrounding you now, to just send back and ricochet off from it anything negative that is directed towards you. Just allow it to just go back to wherever it came. And now, as you can allow yourself to be safe and comfortable inside this beautiful bubble of champagne, silver, and gold and white light, I want you to go ahead and just allow yourself to be open to receive the light codes and the activations that are going to come through the light language. as I tune into the energy, the frequencies, I'm feeling a lot in the heart. So if you guys can all just breathe in deeply and allow those hearts to open and expand even more. Una sitisia tash ar sitir ki ias satash kuosia initisia tash ar sir no kuor sir satash ar si kias ar satash satash sitisia tash anata I ase kia. Working a lot with some of the divine feminine wounding here in the feminine side of the heart. Allowing every person, male and female, to heal the aspect of themselves that is connected to the divine feminine and the wounds that are carried within that heart area. Miasetesia sha'a nukuoresir ari iskia ne iasatash kias Now working with the solar plexus, allowing you all to really kind of step into your empowerment, feeling confident and safe in your intuition, the information that is directed towards you through your downloads, allowing your intuition to guide you in the right direction. And it's saying, pay attention to the red flags. A lot of you guys will get red flags and feelings in your gut, but you don't trust them because your logical mind is telling you, hey, you're being over dramatic or whatever, but you feel it here and you're like, my gut's telling me that there's something, and then you find out later on, I wish I would have trusted my gut. So this is really going to help clear out some of the denser energies connected to lack of self-trust, self-doubt, which also affects your esteem, your self-esteem, your ability to trust yourself and the decisions that you make. And it affects your ability to move forward with certain things. If you can't trust your intuition, if you can't trust your gut, you're going to find yourself staying stuck in cycles and loops of karmic relationship, karmic experiences, karmic friendships, karmic jobs. Like that, if the more you trust your gut and your intuition, the more empowered you become and the less potential you have to stay stuck in those loops and those cycles that do not serve you. Satash arasar nikia resir no resitisiatash arasa kiasa arasir tisiatash arasar ukurisia sa nakaarasir kosiatash arasarastash arir urisitiasatash ir. Kind of pushing the energy down now, pushing it down to kind of clear and be purged through that root chakra. This is going to help you feel less afraid as well when it comes to tuning into that information, that intuition. A lot of times when we don't trust our intuition, it's because we're afraid. We act out of fear, and that fear plays a role with the logical mind, which feeds on that fear sometimes. Like, logical explanations for everything is not always gonna work in your best interest, and I know that from personal experience. You might be feeling a little bit of dense pressure kind of in the root chakra as I'm purging that energy out. Don't be afraid of your own power and allow your power to come forward through your expression. A lot of us are afraid to express ourselves in our unique ways, our unique abilities, and our unique forms because they're not like anybody else. And so that creates this fear that we won't be accepted for that expression. So we stifle it. And so that part of us gets dense and heavy and dark, and it creates that blockage and that pain within our body. You have to learn to express yourself in your uniqueness. That's so important. Risititia sha arsir risitia sa arsir kiasa arsir kariasitia sa arsir kasia kia satisia tash arsi karisitisia sha nuku risi kiasa tash. Seeing a lot of that emerald green again, really working a lot in that heart cleansing and opening, and working with also just the frequency of that emerald green energy coming through the Lionsgate portal. I'm hearing that that's a significant frequency that's connected to this portal, this opening that's happening right now. There's a lot of change and transition happening through this experience, so be aware of your thoughts, your mind. What do you want to experience over the next year? Because those seeds are being planted right now through your thoughts, your vibration, your minds, your desires. That stuff is all going to start coming into fruition over the next year. So be aware that during this portal that your manifestations are really powerful. So if you're in a lack vibration, if you're in a low state of self-esteem, you're going to continue to have to work through that in the form of karmic and those types of experiences over the next year, unless you can become aware that that is what you're manifesting right now and shift yourself out of that energy. Put yourself into an energy of gratitude versus an energy of lack. If you're not making money right now, feel as if you are, because if you continue to cycle in that loop of I'm not making any money, I'm in this, this lack frequency, you're going to continue to experience that until you can shift your perspective out of it. You need to be aware, and they're telling me it's super important, especially right now, of the frequency in which you are existing in right now is creating your next year for you. So if you want to have an abundant next, year, you need to start thinking in the terms of great gratitude for your abundance as if it was here right now, and it's going to show up for you. If you're still in that lack frequency, that lack vibration, if you're still in a low sense self-love, you're going to continue drawing in that until you can shift out of it. And that's going to be in experiences that are going to be perceived as negative, as karmic, as, lower vibrational. But it's just you trying to make you aware that you're in this frequency that you need to shift out of. I'm also hearing that a lot of you guys are going to start tapping into awarenesses of past life potentials, and there's going to be a lot of doubt surrounding if you're just kind of imagining that. And the more and more you believe these things that come into your mind, these potentials that come into your mind, the more and more you will be able to access them. The more doubt you have in the downloads that you get, whether you get a random thought in your mind, you start to perceive yourself in this other life, this other body, this other experience, and you're able to define details. Like you remember the clothes, you remember what the street looked like, you can remember, the room in which you were in, you remember small, minute details, but then you start doubting those things. You're going to continue going back into those cycles of doubt. The more and more you allow yourself to believe what it is that you're perceiving through your daydreams, through your meditations, through your dreams, the more and more you will be able to access those parts of yourself. Siti siata sharsi nikia navatasha anapa kia sapashartis tu siata shar kias titi sitash. Ka'aisiti anatash irisi. Working with that third eye. Doing a little bit of like recoding, reprogramming in the third eye to help kind of vibrate at a higher frequency and allow you to open and expand to your awareness of past life, quantum life, parallel life potentials, allowing you to kind of open and expand your perception and awareness so that those downloads can come in more easily. Some of you guys might be getting some stiffness in the back of your neck as that kind of chakra opens up in the back, allowing that Akashic awareness to come in more, allowing you to tap into your personal Akashic records and bring in information and awarenesses and guidances. These are abilities that you learned and mastered in past lives. These are, things that you experienced that are being re-looped back into this life. So traumas and, things like that. And having the awareness, oh, this was connected to this memory that I have of this time, this place, this space that I didn't even realize was part of myself. And now I'm reliving it in this life, just in a different format. What did I learn, or what can I learn from this experience and shift myself out of it? I'm hearing that some of you are getting like pain in the top of your head, kind of in this area, almost like feeling like when you, like if you got bumped on the head, or like you wore your hair too tight and that part of your head is like sensitive. I'm hearing that that's connected to crown chakra upgrades in order to allow more light to come in. And as you allow more light to come in through that crown chakra, there's going to be different changes of the feelings in your head. Typically, we don't tend to feel like our head, our hair, our face, unless we're getting like an influx of energy or a download. Then we start feeling like tingling in our face. Sometimes our eyes start twitching. Sometimes we start to feel kind of like a pulsing, expanding, contracting, like in our forehead. Sometimes we'll feel it in our ears, where like our jaw will feel kind of tight and stiff. You'll get the ringing in the ears, you'll get that like kind of where it feels almost like you go deaf for a minute in one side, and then it's like kind of like a really kind of high-pitched tone. Like that's all part of that crown chakra upgrades. Like it's affecting the whole face. And then also like right here on the top of the head, there might be some sensitive, like almost feeling like you got bumped on the top of the head. And then also I'm feeling like in the back of the neck, like there's going to be some stiffness, like in the shoulders and in the back of the neck here, as that energy is getting cleared and purged. I'm hearing the best way to kind of help with that energy is to run cold water, like cold showers, or put ice packs on the back of your neck to help with the inflammation. And also it also will help kind of attune you to that vibration, allowing the clarity to kind of open and expand more. my feline aspects just kind of stepped forward. Everything turned very orange. She's going to kind of try to bring through a little bit of energy to help expand and work through the dimensional consciousness that is accessible to you right now. We're looking at high dimensional consciousness. This is going to help you raise your vibration so that you can start tapping into that information. Because in order to tap into information from a dimension, you have to match the frequency, the vibration of that dimension. Shitesiatash arasitias anakisiasha arasir. Kusiashatash arisisia. Nisiatash arasiasa. Nikiasa shorasitiasa resir. Kosiasha rasisia. Nisitisi. Kosiashatasa arasir. Kiarisitisiatash irisitiasa an. Korisitisianatash irisitiasar. Kiase ia natash arisitisiatash arisir. Kosiatash arisitash arisir kisiatash ar. No sitiasikia ia setisia ur. Korisitisi er. So the energies are kind of starting to take a step back. So I'm going to start the grounding energy and start bringing you guys back into your bodies. So anybody who's kind of floating around in astral space, I want you to go ahead and bring yourself back into your body. Start imagining yourself back in your body, coming deeply and firmly, physically planted in your human body, in this dimension, in this now. And just go ahead and just begin to feel every part of your body now as you bring yourself all the way back down. And if you have your eyes closed, you can go ahead and begin opening your eyes, becoming aware of the room around you. And you may be feeling just a little bit of the vibration still as I'm kind of running a little bit of grounding energy. Mother Earth is also assisting, bringing that energy down and grounding you back into your bodies. A little bit of release. Just go ahead and take a couple more nice deep breaths until you feel yourself all the way back. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and let me know how you feel. If you guys saw anything, felt anything, experienced anything while you were enjoying the meditation. I love hearing about your guys' experiences. 1616 1616. Have to duck out before the meditation. That's totally fine, Andy. You can always check the replay if you'd like to. Yay, I'm glad you were here for the meditation, Alexandria. Tom, how are you doing? Hopefully you made the meditation. I have my eyes closed for most of it, so I don't see the comments coming in. That's funny. I was looking at your face and I saw similarities as my mother, and I was like, 117. Nice. This is a nice surprise to wake up to. Really hope you're well, sweetie. Tough times. Yeah, the energies have been really crazy, Tom. We were talking about that in the beginning of the live. My dreams have been insane. Like, so vivid and just completely crazy. Completely nuts. Great info. Love the meditation so far. Thank you, Nicole. You've got that now. Very nice. You're clearly a great energy worker. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nicole. My tree grew into sort of a willow, and the long hanging parts were sparkly white light strings. That reminds me of that tree from the movie Avatar. I don't remember what it was called, but that's like the visual I got in my head. I began to run counterclockwise at its base, and as I did, the top of the tree began to spin clockwise. That's so interesting. Kind of like if you imagine like two pyramids, like if one was spinning this way and the other was spinning the other way, with contained within that, the energy field it would create would be like a sphere. So you were like creating a sphere within that tree. That's so beautiful. I love that. Yeah, me too, even though I was at work. Oh! Well, you know, I always love having you around, even when you're at work. I'm glad you came in and was part of the chat and the meditation. Thank you so much. That was incredible. Couldn't close my eyes. That's okay. That's okay. Thank you so much for this beautiful surprise in every sense. Yay! Wow, Morgan, that's incredible. I know, I agree. It was pretty incredible. I love that. I planted a few seeds. They grew into a big tree, and a few different plants that circled it and grew on it as if were one organ, and grew on it as if it were one organism. I love that. That is beautiful. Oh, I got chills. And like that movie, great point. Yeah. I know. I gotta watch that movie again. Ah. Beautiful. So I've been going for almost 2 hours. I'd love to hear about anything else you guys experienced. If you have any questions, if you have anything else you want to talk about. Otherwise, I got disconnected for a second. That's so strange. But apparently I'm back. So that was weird. So yeah, let me know if you guys have anything else you want to talk about or any questions. Yes, thank you. I know it just like disappeared for a second, and it was like I was like, okay, that was strange. But then it was like reconnecting. You're live, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm back. But maybe that's a sign, because yeah, I've been going for almost 2 hours, and I do have sessions in the morning, so I should probably get off to bed. It's 10:30 where I'm at, and that's usually about my bedtime. Also felt a release in hips and didn't even realize I needed a release there. We carry a lot of energy in our hips. I've noticed that too, especially when I work with the heart chakra. I don't know if they're connected somehow, but when I am cleansing and working with my heart chakra, I feel it in my hips too. It's something that I've noticed as like a regular thing. So I wonder if there's something to that. And I'm about to lose my backing track. It's almost over. Yes, I love you too. Thank you so much, everyone. And I really look forward to doing these meditations with you. It's probably like one of my favorite things in the world. And I'll go ahead and leave all the information in the program after this live is over. If you guys are interested in booking sessions with me, you can book through my store. If you're interested in regular sessions with me, definitely do it through the Patreon. It's totally worth it. And then that gives us an opportunity to develop a relationship and work on all kinds of things, and really get you in, you know, that momentum for like, I specialize in shadow work, all right? So I'm just going to tell you that right off the bat. So if shadow work is your jam and you really want to heal and you want to go through some intensive healing, definitely book through the Patreon. Otherwise, you know, if you just want to try it out and just do a session, book it through the Etsy. All the information will be in the program once this live is over. And you can check out any of my other videos that are already on my channel that has the information in the program box already there. All right, I love you all so much. It was really nice to see you too, Tom. Lots of love from England. Thank you. I'm watching for us. I missed you too. And bright blessings. Good night, Katie. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Okay? And definitely we got to do another session. All right? I love you all. Mwah. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.